So today we are going to be running through a day in the life of me, Joe Cross, 2 weeks out from my first show of the year in 2021. So just kind of want to run you through a full day. I've never done any of this vlogging before, so forgive me and cut me some slack if it's not perfect, but we'll try and make it as good as we can do. But it's going to be more informative, sort of looking through, what goes on in day-to-day basis for me. And I will warn you, when you're in the depths of prep, and for anyone that's been sort of 2 weeks out, you'll know that there's very little balance in what we do. You'll see that everything I do from literally the second that I wake up right through till going to sleep is pretty much all about training, diet, recovery, and everything else in between. So we basically just got out of bed. It is now about 7 o'clock in the morning, and it is time to get stuff done. So my routine, I am so OCD, like every day for me starts the exact same way. So basically you get up, I took my fat burners, ready to get cardio done, and then before I do my cardio and actually my posing rounds, what I will do is I come and make my breakfast. So I actually just make it all up, so ready. As soon as I finish cardio, go out of the shower, I'm ready to just literally inhale it and just cook it up straight away instead of like weighing out ingredients and stuff, because after cardio and posing, literally all I want to do is get that first meal in. So I will talk you through the meal after, but first of all what we are going to do is we're going to look at some posing. So we're fortunate enough to get Dan Bastick on today. So Dan has been doing my posing for me up until this point, and it's something that I've spoken about quite a lot, that I've neglected massively in the past, and unfortunately, it's what you do on stage. Like, he used the famous sentence when I first started with him. He's like, well, you're not going to be squatting on stage, you're not going to be hack squatting, you're not going to be sat on a Stairmaster or a bike, like, why don't you spend more time posing? And ever since going to like the amateur shows recently, like the FX and the PCA and stuff, it just kind of holds such precedence when you see guys, even with great physiques, who just can't pose. It just takes away from the physique. So something that I really want to emphasise is like practicing posing, every single day. So, he almost sets me like homework. So it's like every week we progress onwards and onwards. So, this week it's 3 rounds of posing a day, holding each pose for, I think it's 8 seconds. Next week we'll go to 10 seconds, and so on and so on. So, by the time the stage comes, you're conditioned ready for it. Because I guarantee, nothing can prepare you for when you're under them lights and ready to get going. So yeah, just going to finish my coffee. The fat burn has been taken injectable L-carnitine. I'll run you through the breakfast after the supplementation. But the next video is going to be me in a pair of Speedos doing some posing. So hope you enjoy. We have Daniel live. So Dan is my posing coach, like I touched on before. And we actually competed together, didn't we, Dan? Back in 2019, year before COVID, wasn't it? At the finals. So yeah, I actually beat Dan one place ahead, but I don't think that'd be the case now. 300 pound or whatever he is, big guy. But yeah, we're both coached by Sasan. So we're good in that way, and we've always got on. We've done podcasts and stuff over the years, so I really sort of hold a lot of sort of precedent in Dan's eye, in what we do. I think he's got a great eye for bodybuilding and stuff like that, and just the minor tweaks that he's made to my posing. It's something that even like 6 months of progressive overloading off season, like there's certain body parts that you could spend another year training and you wouldn't actually have the improvements that Dan's given me, purely on the basis that just little refinements to biceps, making them peak more, kicking your hips back, showing more detail through your legs, like the list goes on, and just making it more seamless. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run through one of the rounds that Dan takes me through. He's going to give me some pointers along the way, as he always does, because we're at the point now where we're maybe 4 or 5 weeks into this sort of posing journey, and we're pretty happy that there's always stuff to work on, there always is going to be, but we're sort of 90% of the way there. Everything's kind of nailed down, so now it's kind of getting into the absolute minute detail in what we're trying to do, and then obviously in 2 weeks time it should be as effortless as possible, when we come to stage and actually showcase the physique I want to. So I'm just going to take you through some posing rounds, and then we'll catch up ready for breakfast. Yeah, fucking well loud.
Right, so
nightmare.
Because we're near the end really of your posing and that, and everything's pretty refined.
Yeah.
Today just be about, I want to really test your posing fitness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna really literally don't come out the pose until I say. going to test the fuck out of you today because I want to see if when you start to break, what parts of your body first become unflexed.
Yeah.
Usually in people, it's their hip flexors.
Yeah.
So I want to stay on that today. It's going to be a bit harsh, but, you know, if you're prepared for this, you're prepared for stage, right?
Sounds like a plan to me. Sounds fun. Just what we're doing on a Sunday morning. But yeah, this is the thing. Like, I can get into poses well now. It's about hitting them. It's when I get to like past 5 seconds, that's when it starts to become hard. So that's what I really need to focus on. Like, if the judges start working you on stage and making you hold poses for like 10 seconds, then this is where I need to be like, right, this is where I really need it. So we'll see what's happening. I'll take you through a full round first if you want, Dan.
Yep.
Just tell me where the lighting in that's right.
Do the flip-flops help you on that floor? Is it that floor?
Yeah, it's the floor. I like flip-flops.
Okay, fine.
I'm gonna sew them onto my feet ready for stage.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Front relaxed. Quarter turn to the right. Face the back, rear relaxed. Could be the easiest one for you because you can breathe. Face front. One double bicep. One lat spread. All the way stiff. Good. Cover the gap underneath your pack. Good. Side tricep. Rear double bicep.
Get low for this one.
Rear lat spread. Open up. Open up. Nice. Okay. Face in front. And on five. muscular. Good. Right, nice. Relax.
Oh.
Mate, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's the hardest I've pushed you on the post.
Yeah, that was tough. I'm fucked.
I was really like prolonging it.
Yeah.
Going like 12, 13, 14 seconds
Yeah.
area. A couple of notes I took from that was just a couple of things I want to try.
Yeah.
So when you get your breath back, you want to go into your quarter turn again.
Yep.
So obviously on stage where you've got the line where everyone's going to be standing, we've talked about this before, where we should have your legs, what direction we should have them pointing. I want them slightly off the line. So if you're having them at 90 degrees at the moment, I want them more at about 110,
Yeah.
105.
So you're talking about obviously not having them directly along the line this way, slightly
Yes.
facing away from the judges.
Yeah, I feel like your hamstring's starting to disappear where you are.
Right. Okay.
Move your foot closest to the judges. Move
Yeah.
that forward a little bit. Yeah, there. Now twist. And as you twist, use the twist of the floor, like the friction of your floor, to pretend to twist your feet towards the judges. But you can't because of friction on the floor.
Ah, right. Yeah. I'm with you.
There you go. Ham glute separation is much better.
Does that look better?
Yeah, it's a push-pull of the floor. Use a friction. So like we do with your front pose, where we push outwards, your quads. That'll bring the lines up to your hips. And then obviously from the back, we'll pull back for your hamstrings.
Yeah.
From the side, on your quarter, not on your side chest or side tri, just your quarter, pull your feet towards the judges.
Yeah.
It'll bring
Yeah. I mean, I've never thought of that, to be fair. That's a good point. But yeah, you can feel it. It's like in the back double when you do you pull your hamstrings back. It basically, yeah, you can just feel it, everything tense up without really trying. So no, that's spot on, mate. But yeah, no, just gonna do just the one round, mate. But no, I appreciate that. And then obviously,
just one more thing.
Yeah.
One more thing as well. Your side tricep. When you're going from your side chest to your side tricep, you're manoeuvring. Face the back curtain slightly because you let your waist go in between the transition.
right, okay, yeah.
So try it now. Go side chest. Okay. Hold the side chest. Okay. Hold. Then I want you to twist your body round as you go into your side tricep. Get your midsection in, then twist. Blow the air out now. Flex down your abs. Now twist. There you go. No distension.
That's so simple, isn't it? Because I always worry about letting my air out. And then obviously all you got to do is breathe out and then twist instead of try and do the same at the same time.
Yeah. Do it whilst you're facing away from the judges.
Yeah.
Don't let them.
That makes sense. But no, very much appreciated as always, Dan. And then like I said, Dan will then set me homework week to week, what to work on. And I think one of the things that I'd like to say as well is, the actual detail that is brought in my physique, like since we started working, like I know everything else has been changing, drugs, cardio, food, blah blah blah, but at the same time, like the difference in my condition from when we started to now, like, is worlds apart, isn't it? And I think a lot of people probably don't underestimate the power of actual posing, and actually I think it brings a different level of detail in your physique, because you're constantly, you're not pumping blood to a muscle like when you're training it. It's like you're forcing it into an area by contracting it. And it's actually funny you should say that, because when I came off stage last time, the feedback I got from the judges was the more and more that I posed, the better I looked, the harder I became. So I think, there's a difference between just pumping up backstage and actually going through posing rounds, and the difference in how you look. because you don't want to just pump up and blur lines. I think it actually accentuates that detail.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the more you pose, the more body awareness and mind muscle connection it will give you as well. So it will help you training.
Yeah.
It really will. Training. Not just that, but I think it brings maturity to muscle that you wouldn't otherwise see. Like you've seen it.
Yeah, muscle maturity is a big one.
Example would be Dorian. Dorian in prep every night, 1 hour in his garage posing. 1 hour non-stop holding poses.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. So, but as again say, much appreciated, Dan, as always. And I'll catch up with you later on, buddy.
No, dude. Have a good day.
So posing has been wrapped up with Dan, so now it is time to get my cardio done. So I usually pose first thing out of bed when I'm at my flattest, and I think it actually shows more detail. Posing after cardio for me is a bit of a no-go. So after cardio I usually get straight in the shower. I'll do some vacuuming before I get in the shower just to work my transverse. So currently cardio at the minute is 45 minutes fasted every day. That's on the spin bike, so good old spin bike, had it for about 5 or 6 years. Never let me down. Another one of my OCD things, that I could get a new one, but I'm not getting rid of this. The amount of work that I've put in, I am not getting rid of this bike. So 45 minutes fast in the morning. On a training day it's a further 30 in the evening, but that's just in the form of an outdoor walk, getting some steps in. And then on a rest day it's 45 fasted on the bike, and then 45 minutes of the Stairmaster later in the day, so an hour and a half on rest days. So you know, it's tough and quite a lot of cardio, but for me, you know, I've always been into fasted cardio. Like, I've never seen changes in my physique faster, and for me it's just something that I like to do in the morning. Gets my day set up really nicely. Listen to some music, watch some YouTube, you know, whatever it may be, just to clear my head, and really gets me in a routine ready for the day. So like I said, have my fat burners, had my Glycomax, ready to just knock out 45 minutes of cardio. So usually do just to pass time faster, 2 minutes at a moderate pace, 1 minute at a fast pace, so 3 minute intervals, and repeat that for 45 minutes, so 15 times over. So psychologically I've only got 15 3-minute bursts. It goes faster than 45 minutes. Whatever you've got to do to get it done. But yeah, as soon as this is done, we will take you through meal one and then give you a rundown of what the day has in store for us. Are you still there?
Yeah.
So that is cardio wrapped up, and that was one of the toughest sessions yet. They just keep seeming to getting more and more difficult. The resistance, I keep having to check the resistance, like, is that gone up since last time? But anyway, a very sweaty one ticked off. So now it is time to bring me back to life and get some oats in me. So shower, oats, Hydromax, done. So, what everyone always asks me, what meals do you eat on a daily basis? So I'm going to run you through a standard training day food plan, and it's basically pretty low calorie right now, very clean food sources. So I'm going to run you through it meal by meal. And the big difference for me, if anyone knows me on like a personal level, is I hate food in off season. So the contrast of me and my food focus from off season to prep is like worlds apart. So in prep I'm so food focused, like I love food, and anywhere can make me ingredients give me more volume, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. So meal one, we have got 120 grams of uncooked weight chicken. So that gives me about 25 grams of protein, and then we use 250 ml of egg whites. So it's just egg whites and chicken for the protein sources, no fats, and then we go with 50 grams of oats, which I'll add sweetener, and then also frozen berries and cinnamon too, just the flavour. So recently we've swapped out whey for chicken because more anabolic in it. But you know, the real reason is obviously less artificial sweeteners, and also whey, what a lot of people don't realise is whey is quite insulinogenic. So with whey being insulinogenic, we're trying to limit like the insulin response from it, and I do feel like, you know, more, you know, whole foods is always a better option. So we're going to run you through this. So that's meal one, and then obviously supplementation that goes with meal one. We're going to go with Support Max, Overall Health, a multivitamin, krill oil, which I just swapped away from omega-3 because I think it's gives you a better sort of ratio of EPA and DHA. Glycomax, I've actually taken that already pre-cardio to drop my fasted blood sugars. A vitamin C, great antioxidant, good for the immune system, because I always get ill in prep. And then I wash that down with half cherry Hydromax, half lime, and a Cystol Max. So Cystol Max are great stuff for blood pressure support, and then obviously Hydromax for hydration, and it's also a mild diuretic because of the dandelion root and the vitamin C in it, and it tastes amazing as well. So taste is everything right now. So yeah, that is meal one. I'll show you when it's all cooked up, and then we'll go from there and take you through the rest of the meals for the day. So, how to cook oats? Question. I always put oats in clients' plans to have oats or cream rice, and everyone is always like, I hate oats, but they're my favourite meal of the day, so I'm going to show you how I do them. But you've got to go with the best ingredients. Always got to be the quick oats. These ones, mega. So all you have to do with these ones is pour hot water straight into them, and then just cover it just over the top. Just enough. So I quite like mine thick, and then I add sweetener to it, and that way you get a little bit more flavour. So basically, mix it up, boiling hot water straight in there, and what I do is I just cover it with a plate. So I'll let them steam for a couple of minutes. So what I then do is I'm going to add 50ml of egg whites to it, and I'm going to whisk that into it, and I'm going to re-microwave it, and that's going to give me a little bit more volume, and I cook the 200ml of egg whites separate. So as soon as this is done, we're going to basically take the lid off, add the egg whites, mix it up, and then as soon as it's all done and the eggs are cooked within it, we're then going to add flavour drops. So I use the Applied Nutrition toffee caramel ones, and the vanilla and the white chocolate are also very good. So get all three just to kind of mix it up, and I use them in coffee as well. So I'll add a few drops into that once it's done. We'll top it with frozen berries and cinnamon, a twist of pink salt, and it is genuinely the best meal of the day. The only one that I actually look forward to right now. So yeah, that is how I sort of do this meal. Like I said, best meal of the day. If you don't like oats, then the chances are you're probably cooking them wrong, because oats are the one. And there we have it. So we've got 50 grams of oats with the 50ml of egg whites. Do not knock it until you've tried it. The egg whites give it so much more volume, topped with 50 grams of frozen berries and cinnamon, 120 grams cooked home weight chicken, and then egg whites and ketchup. Not very presentable, that ketchup today. Didn't do myself very good. Crumbled under the pressure. All washed down with Hydromax and Cystol Max mixed together. Get in my mouth. So what we have in store for today, so just had breakfast, going to do a bit of client work now. So I do my check-ins Monday through till Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a bit more admin days. Getting back to sort of form videos as well, and then doing any new sort of setups and programs that I need to do for existing and new clients. So today, obviously, you've seen me pose, cardio, meal one. So now we're just going to chill out, do a bit of work, and we're going to then have meal two, which will be our pre-workout meal, before we're going to head across to Prophecy to train quads. So leg training today wouldn't be as intense as what it normally would be. Obviously 2 weeks out, so we've got to sort of scale back, cut the set short. So I'm not actually going to record any of the session today. I'm just going to leave this as a day in the life video. But yeah, we're going to hit some quads up, and then we're going to come back, going to do some post-workout posing, and then we're going to get some steps done, and then it's meal prep for the rest of the week. So you know, again, like I said, the balance side of things, I think, you know, when you want to be the best you can be, you know, everyone sort of says, oh, you know, you need to have a balanced life, you've got to have, you know, like a social life, all this. Yeah, I get it, you know, and a lot of my clients do have that, but, you know, when you want to be your best at the very end of prep, like, it comes down to, you know, how much work can you really put in. So this is why, you know, I think at the back end of a prep, the reality is you can't have balance. Like, if you want to be the best you can be, you've got to be quite one-dimensional. You've got to tick, you know, every single box. You know, when I go to bed every night, it's a case of, have I ticked every box? You know, is it cardio, meals, posing, recovery, whatever it may be. You know, it's just a game of ticking boxes at this point. So yeah, that is what, you know, we've got in plan for the day. If anything else crops up, we'll take you through it. Going to run you through my supplementation as well, and then, you know, when we get to Prophecy, introduce you to my sponsor Fullbore, who will be doing some quads with us. So yeah, going to get down to work, get myself an espresso, and if you haven't got an espresso machine, the Vertuo one, I've just upgraded from the normal pods, and I tell you what, it is a game changer.
Tell you what, Costa and Starbucks, they ain't got nothing on me now. It is a game changer. So if you haven't invested, invest. The best money I've spent this year. So the pre-workout meal, which is meal number 2 prior to quads, we've got 200 grams of uncooked weight turkey, we've got 150 grams of cooked weight basmati rice, green peas, and then some hot sauce and pink salt. Going down with Glycomax, with, as always, with all my carb meals, and then my orals, which I take pre-workout to elevate hormones over the workout window. Recently, coconut oil has been taken out of this meal. Coconut oil is my preferred source of pre-workout fats, primarily because it's the only form of fat that can be used instantaneously as energy. But this meal is now pretty dead without my coconut oil. Coconut oil makes rice the best. So, intra-workout supplementation and then my post-workout meal as well. So, I'm going to prepare my post-workout meal before I go. And if I had £1 for the time, every time someone asked me a question as how I make my cream of rice from clients, I'd be a very rich man. So, just want to show you how to do it. It's so easy, and I don't know how people get it so wrong. So, literally, boil the kettle. Always got to be water first. Never ever put the cream of rice in first, because it just completely ruins it. So zero the scales once the water's in, and then what we're going to go with is 60 grams, so this is my current weight. Bit of a poverty portion, I must admit, but it is what it is right now. So go with 60 grams, and then like I said, make sure the powder is in after the water. And then we have to use a fork, never use a spoon, because you never get the consistency you want. So literally just mix that in, keep mixing it. Most of the time it'll go a little bit thick, because I'd rather underdo the water instead of overdo it. So it's a little bit thick now. Add a touch more water. And I'd always go with the vanilla cream of rice, especially if you've got a flavoured whey protein. Because a lot of the clients like I'll put on whey and cream of rice post-workout. And for that reason, like if you get a vanilla, it's just a sweet cream of rice. So any flavour that you then add, it'll always sort of taste like that. So that's always the best way to go about things. Somewhat like that. So we've got pretty thick consistency there, the cream of rice. I'm doing it thick today because I then, like everything at the minute, volumise it. So I add 50ml of egg whites. We'll take away about 5 grams of whey, and I'll add in 50ml of egg whites instead. It's only about 5 grams of protein, but more so for the volume. And I'll mix this in together, and then basically re-microwave this 30 seconds just to cook the eggs through, and then add the whey into it. So because it's my post-workout meal, I'm going to take it with me. Usually I come back and eat, but because we're going to Profs, it's about an hour away, I'm going to eat this cold post-workout. And again, don't knock it until you've tried it. It is a very nice meal, even cold. So I'm going to take the whey with me and then mix it in later on once this has cooled down. But yeah, that is as simple as it is. Just make sure you always add the water first. Use a fork, whisk it properly, and then when you add the whey, let it cool down first. So if you're eating it straight away, let it cool down, otherwise the whey cooks and it goes like all clumpy. So leave it like 2 or 3 minutes, add the whey in, mix it in, voila. So very simple at the minute, intra-workout supplementation, just go with 10 grams of creatine and then 20 grams of essential amino acids. Using the strong ones at the minute, cranberry kush flavour, very good. To be quite honest, all the ones at Full Bore stock are brilliant. The last one I've had is strawberry lime from Conti Sports, and that is very nice flavour as well. Usually I'd add a scoop of carbs intra-workout, but for the minute, obviously being this deep in prep, no intra-workout carbs, it's just an essential amino and then a creatine to go with it.
Put my pain in a paper plane, sit back and I spark it. Lose myself in an 808, I'ma smoke till I'm lethargic. I'm falling hard and all these scars don't seem to fade away. Been moving ghosts, so don't come close, yeah, there ain't no way that I'll ever stop dreaming. Flow's cold, I'm freezing. I'm a broken guy and I don't know why, but the pain ain't healing. Why people always leaving, look fine but looks deceiving. So I put my pain in a paper plane, take flight for the evening. Cause when I'm high, it's like my mind can finally let go of the darkest thoughts as I drift off course. I hear your voice echo around my mind, running out of time. When I'm down, ain't no one calling. Know about the grind, no amount too high in pain and I keep on falling. Put my pain in a paper plane, sit back and I spark it. Lose myself in an 808, I'ma smoke till I'm lethargic. I'm falling hard and all these scars don't seem to fade away. Been moving ghosts, so don't come close, yeah, there ain't no way. head ever stop.
So we're here at Prophecy Gym, the main man, Mr. Ronnie. So this is the man behind the scenes with Full Bore Sports, and obviously the man which has supported me, throughout the past, I don't know, a year and a half? 18 months at the moment. So obviously all the improvements I've been making all the way through off-season, and now in prep, Robbie's training me, providing me all supplementation. Can't thank enough really. It's definitely been a pleasurable sort of thing, seeing from day one, the very start where we're literally selling supplements out of the back of the car, all the way through to where he is now, working out of Elite and growing the online brand as well. So very, very exciting times ahead to sort of see where I can take myself as an athlete, and then obviously it kind of goes hand in hand with business. As I grow, Robbie will grow, and as he grows, I grow. So it's a good relationship from that point. We both started. I started coaching when he started with supplements. So very good from that perspective. So yeah, 2 weeks left of prep. So second to last leg session before my first show, which is a bit of a mad one. But what I will say is, session today is not going to be recorded, purely because it's not going to be that entertaining, to be quite honest with you. And I just want to get in, put my head down, and actually just get in training. So this will be stayed as a full day in the life sort of video. And the training at the minute is, backing off the volume side of things, and just basically making sure we're doing enough to stimulate the muscle, but not enough to annihilate it. So volume's just one straight set per exercise. Going to do 4 or 5 exercises for quads and reductions today and throwing a bit of carbs. Going to be nothing groundbreaking, certainly no new needs being made, but just making sure we get the job done, get in, get out, and then rest up and go again tomorrow. So we'll catch you later after the session, probably inhaling a bowl of cream of rice. But yeah, let's get to it. So that is the leg session wrapped up. If anyone has been to Prophecy Performance, unbelievable leg kit in here. The only problem I've got is right now I can't train to complete failure, and I've only got one working set per exercise, so it's very frustrating because I feel like I'm leaving the gym without giving my heart and soul, but I know it is for the benefit of the physique. There's no point doing too much and overdoing it, and because 2 weeks ago I did that, absolutely trashed myself, went to complete failure on barbell squats, and my legs genuinely looked worse all the way through the week. Both me and Sass agreed my legs were flattening out from taking it past the point of failure. So straight sets only, one set, and it's keeping my legs nice and full, and keeping the muscle there, so it's doing everything we need to do. And if I'm talking very fast, it's because I am so well and truly ready to inhale this post-workout cream of rice. This is my last meal of the day, which actually contains carbs, so it's only 50 grams of cream of rice, but it is going to taste like bliss. And what I'm actually going to do as well is mix a whey paste, so just add a little bit of water on top. So I've got the cream of rice here, and then lay it over like a cake. Unbelievable. So yeah, last carb meal of the day. I always have carbs at meal 1, so breakfast, pre and post workout, and then the other 3 meals, which I'll take you through later, are all just basically protein, and then veg as well, no fats. So yeah, diet is getting pretty rough, so we're going to inhale this, and then we'll drive home. So Blue Peter style, turn Michael Jackson off. So Blue Peter style, here's the one I made earlier, my cream of rice, and now we'll just add a little bit of water into the whey into a separate pot. So if you make your whey into a shake, then you are living in the fucking stone ages. That is what you're doing. So what we need to do is make this into a nice thick paste. I've messed that up because I need a little bit more water. Apologies. So what we do with this is make it into a nice thick paste, and then we're going to pour it over the top. So it's like having a cake, having a nice sweet vanilla bottom, and then a salted caramel layer on top. Absolute game changer. Could really do with a fork just to make it a little bit better consistency, but got what we've got to work with right now. And then this just gets poured on top like so. If I spill this on my white shorts, then I'm never doing a vlog again. I'll finish it off when the camera's gone off, but yeah, you get the idea, So it is basically a whey paste poured over the cream of rice, and it is a complete and utter game changer. So, a little bit in a backwards fashion, I was actually going to discuss how I go about programming legs before the session, but completely fell on the way down. Had a strong pre-workout and didn't fancy talking. So, when it comes to programming, what I always say is, you know, we should be programming in a fashion where we get the most out of every single individual exercise. And that goes for every body part. So, you know, when it comes to legs, you might have seen on Instagram and stuff that I'm always a big advocate of putting calves at the start. So today was quads, calves and adductors. So we started off with 2 calf exercises, you know, 1 set each. And obviously we can do calves to start with and get, you know, a lot out of the movement without actually having to compromise any exercises, because, you know, we're fatiguing the calves, we've got full energy to do it, but they're not really that sort of high with energy expenditure, so it's not going to take away from like our quad session or a hamstring session. So it's really good in that fashion to put them first, get them out of the way, and that's the only way I've actually made my calves grow. We then moved on to adductors, you know, the same sort of, you know, thought process behind that. We can do adductors, they're not really going to take a lot of energy, we're going to really get a lot out of the movement, and then we can move on to our bigger movements. So we went to calves, then into adductors, and then into a leg extension. I always favour, you know, starting with a leg extension before compound lifts, and the reason is, you know, we can fully shorten and contract the muscle and get the absolute most out of it. And obviously, you know, in terms of actual strength profile, what we're trying to do is fully shorten the muscle, and the leg extension in terms of like a quad exercise is probably the best exercise that's actually going to fully contract and shorten the muscle. And obviously once we've pre-exhausted the quad, we're naturally then going to feel so much more quad recruitment on the exercises that follow that, so our bigger compound lifts. So we've gone from calves, adductor, then a leg extension, we then hit a leg press movement, and then we hit a hack squat. So the reason at the minute I'm doing a leg press before the hack squat, because usually in off season I do it in the opposite fashion, is because I find that the leg press is a lot less taxing on my CNS, it's a lot less sort of demanding, so I'd rather get more out of that, and then I can reduce the load on the hack squat, which is going to reduce the overall fatigue of the session, which obviously is the goal right now, to get the most out of, you know, using the least weight. So, you know, I give my sort of central nervous system and inflammation as much of a rest whilst I'm in such a big deficit. And then we just basically finished with a hamstring top up. So we do hamstring day obviously, so on the quad day I finished with 1 hamstring curl. I did an ascending descending set today, so basically start on the bottom pin as light as you can, 5 reps, up 1 pin, 5 reps, up 1 pin, all the way down so you can't do any more, and then all the way back up the set. So, you know, it's about a 3 or 4 minute set, and you know, you're just aiming to go to complete failure. So that's the way, you know, I like to program legs, and you know, like I said, it's all about placing the movements within your program so you get the absolute most from the movement, and obviously the best connection as well. So, you know, we are bodybuilding at the end of the day, we're not going in to move as much weight as we can on a leg press or hack squat or a barbell squat. You know, we're trying to get the maximum activation and use the load to create the biggest internal stimulus, and you know, that's why I program in this manner. So yeah, a little bit of boring science for you today.
We got back from the gym and I absolutely crashed out. Had a nice little hour's nap. Definitely well deserved, and it's something that I definitely think you should be including within your post-workout ritual. So now I've just woken up, had some water, and it's time for the carb-free meals. Kind of putting these off. Even though I'm starving, there's still not a lot of desire to eat it, and it's just barbecue chicken, and I don't mean barbecue sauce, I mean cooked on the barbecue, because it's the only way I can kind of eat chicken dry, with tender stem broccoli and green beans. Nothing exciting. 200 grams of chicken and a load of veg just to fill a hole. So meal 5 is going down, and everyone always asks me, how would you make chicken or just meat and veg exciting? Because let's be honest, carbs are life, and meals without carbs are just never exciting. But this meal in particular, I'd probably say it's my favourite carb-free meal that isn't like whey-based. So what it is literally chicken with mixed veg, passata sauce and seasoning. So easy to make, but it's actually a meal that I look forward to, which is pretty rare, like I said, if it doesn't include carbs. So what we've got is half a pepper, we've got half a courgette, and we've got half a red onion. So we just fried that up and stir-fried it. So what we're going to do is going to add organic passata sauce. Got to be organic. You are what you eat, remember that. Or I'm just a food snob. So I'm going to put a bit of that in. We're then going to add the chicken. So it's 200 grams of uncooked flake chicken. I've already eaten some, so I couldn't help myself. We've got some garlic, and then we're going to do mixed herbs and pink Himalayan salt as well. And this is honestly probably one of the best meals that you will eat carb free. So
after we've had this meal, this is meal number 5. Before meal number 6, we're just going to go out for a very quick walk and get all of the steps done for today. Well, this is like kind of my second cardio session. So this is what it looks like, a bit of a stir-fry mix with tomato base, and it actually is very, very nice. So, you know, you can make chicken and veg pretty good. If you're meal prepping, you know, for the day, it's always a good variation from your standard chicken and broccoli. Bon appetit. A lovely evening, getting some steps in, and it's pretty hard to get across on camera sort of how I am exactly feeling. I think the camera lady will agree, I'm not feeling quite so lovely right now. So yeah, steps in before the last meal, and I guess this is just the harsh reality of prep. Like, I'm still in the same shorts that I trained in. I literally got in, crashed on the sofa, went to sleep, and that was that, and literally haven't done a great deal since, other than a bit of work on the laptop, because everything is such an effort. Going to the toilet, getting up the stairs, putting a hoodie on, like, you name it, everything becomes so much effort. And unfortunately, you know, like, this is the reality of it, and I don't like to moan about it a lot, to be quite honest, because, you know, no one forces us to do what we do, but unfortunately, you know, getting into extreme levels of condition is fucking difficult, to be fair. Like, you know, it takes a certain, you know, sort of character, and it's why, you know, a lot of people will get to the last 4 weeks of prep and, you know, they'll knock it on the head and give up, because, you know, it kind of is make or break, and it kind of does, you know, sort of you know, judge you as a person and see what, you know, what you're really made of, because, you know, believe me, like, getting in true stage condition compared to like a photo shoot or holiday lean is worlds apart. You know, getting to 6 weeks out is relatively easy. Getting abs, you know, it's not too bad, but, you know, getting the glutes in, the hamstrings in, which is what we're trying to do now, it takes some minerals, put it that way. It takes a lot of cardio, it takes a lot of low food, high expenditure, you know, continuing to train, you know, like you would do in off season, even though you haven't got any energy. So, you know, it is one of them where, you know, walking around like 3 or 4k steps now is absolute murder. It feels like cardio, and your legs feel like lead. But it is what it is, you know. This is the reality of prep, and I want to give, you know, people a flavour for that, because, you know, it is all good and well being happy and jolly and, you know, acting great behind the camera, but, you know, the people around me kind of see what truly goes on, and see, you know, truly how difficult it is. And, you know, if I can get that across to people, because I think, you know, a lot of people realise these days that it's a bit of fun, you know, they want to do it because the mate's doing it, or they've seen someone on Instagram, and they're only setting themselves up for failure, unfortunately, because, you know, you need to actually understand, you know, just how difficult this is. It's an extreme sport at the end of the day. You know, you're pushing your body to that absolute limit. You know, don't go into it thinking, you know, you're just going to breeze it, because it's truly tough. So yeah, just wanted to give you a bit of an insight on that, you know, just in case anyone was considering it, and if anyone else is going through it, you know, they'll probably resonate a lot with this. But anyway, we're about halfway through the steps. Get some more steps done. We've got one more meal to go. I'm going to get a shower, chill, and just have a nice relaxing Sunday evening. See the Highland cows, but unfortunately they're not there today. So the nighttime sups: 2 Glycomax, Support Max Joint, Krill Oil, Vitamin C, Support Max Sleep Stack, and then we've got a greens, glutamine, glutathione, and Support Max Neuro PM shake. Full Ball Sports JC10. Meal 6, you've got to save the best till last. So it's my favourite meal of the day by a long way. Look forward to it every night. So it's 200ml of egg whites with 10 grams of nut butter. So I come with ketchup and then nut butter on my egg whites. And then I get 40 grams of whey with that. So what I do is I use 20 grams of Velocity Whey and I make that into a mug cake. So I mix it with water and then put it in the microwave, and it goes into like a little bit of a sponge cake. And then I mix 20 grams of cinnamon donut whey with water, make it into a paste, and then I'll pour that over the top of the cake. So you get a cake with some syrup. Don't knock it until you try it. This is honestly the best meal of the day, something that you can actually look forward to that's sweet. So yeah, if you get whey in one of your meals, don't use it as a shake. Make a mug cake and a paste over the top.